Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that takes the lead in today's edition for Friday, 17th January 2025, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. Grenada's Prime Minister wraps up a one-week 20th anniversary tour of China. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. Grenada's Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell commenced an official visit to China from January 11th to 17th. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the resumption of diplomatic relations between China and Grenada. That's what made the visit so special and crucial at this time, according to Xinhua News, which provides more details.
During the visit, Chinese President Xi Jinping will meet with the Prime Minister, and Premier Li Qiang will also hold a welcoming ceremony for him. And also they will hold talks and jointly attend a signing ceremony of a couple of cooperation documents. Meanwhile, Zhao Leji, the chairman of the National People's Congress Standing Committee, will also meet with the Caribbean country's premier. So the two sides will have an in-depth exchange of views on bilateral relations and also on some issues of common concern. Besides Beijing, the Prime Minister will also visit China's Zhejiang and Shanghai as well. We know that Grenada is an important country in the Caribbean region and is an important partner of China in that region as well. The two sides have signed the memorandum of understanding on a joint construction of the Belt and Road Initiative in the year 2018. And according to statistics from the Chinese customs, a bilateral trade volume between China and Grenada in 2022, for example, totaled over $23 million, and that's up 12% year on year. And also exports from China to Grenada also amounted to over $23 million. That's up 11% year on year. So Caribbean country has benefited a lot from the cooperation with China in areas such as infrastructure, development, and also the expansion and modernization of airport, of road network as well. So it's widely hoped that the countries will explore more opportunities for cooperation through the visit this time. Zheng Chunying, CGTN, Beijing.
With the highly anticipated 2025 general elections on the horizons in Jamaica, the Justice Minister is urging peace among supporters of the two major political parties. The minister made the appeal during the recent annual Custo New Year's church service in Manchester. CVM's Courtney Lewis has more.
With more reports of domestic disputes and small disagreements becoming fatal, Minister of Justice Delroy Chuck is speaking peace. Alluding to operations in Parliament, the minister is encouraging citizens to take a page from the country's leaders' books.
Look at Devon, Damian Young, and Mikhail. They are opponents in a very volatile political atmosphere, but they learn to get along with one another. When you see us in Parliament, we brush shoulders with one another. It's only when we get inside we start abusing one another verbally.
And especially months before the government calls a general election, Minister Chuck is urging citizens to leave trends of political violence in the past.
When we argue with one another, we're not fighting. And we don't expect our supporters to fight in any way. This year is an election year, and I want it to be the most peaceful election ever.
The minister says statistics have proven that Jamaicans are more than ever now violent towards each other. However, he explains it is not ideal for the country and its 2030 vision to make Jamaica the place to live, work, raise families, and do business.
We have so many instances of domestic violence in our country. It doesn't come out in the open, but it's far too many. Where spouses are beating up one another. Children are killing parents. Parents are beating up children. That's not the Jamaica that we want.
He suggests the country will need some redirection. Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
19 suspects accused in the July 2021 assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse arrived on Monday at the courthouse as defense attorneys hoped they would be released, but a judge postponed their hearing once again. This Africa News item shares more.
A trial of 19 suspects accused of assassinating the former Haitian President Jovenel Moïse was postponed by a judge on Monday. The 17 Colombians, all former soldiers, along with 2 Haitians, waited for their hearing to start in a private residence in an upscale area in Haiti's capital because of a surge in gang violence had forced officials to physically shut down the Court of Appeals in downtown Port-au-Prince. The suspects had initially refused to escape prison during one of the country's largest prison break orchestrated by gangs. According to their lawyer, they didn't want to escape with the other inmates because they are not guilty, and further said they had nothing to do with the killing of Jovenel. While the case against the suspects being held in Haiti is basically at a standstill, U.S. authorities have charged and sentenced several others. In December 2023, a judge in Miami sentenced former Haitian Senator John Joel Joseph to life in prison for conspiring to kill Moïse at his private residence on July 7, 2021.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick,
in association with our friends at
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The Bahamas' Chief Magistrate Roberto Rickley speaks about the successes of the court in 2024. Details in this ZNS News item.
The lower courts are looking forward to building on the successes of 2024. Chief Magistrate Roberto Rickley, in a rare interview, said one of the most significant things to occur at the magistrates' courts was the increase in the jurisdiction. Prior to last year, persons were only to bring claims of up to $5,000 to the lower courts, but that amount has been upped to $20,000. According to the Chief Magistrate, this greatly aided with allowing more cases to move through the courts and a swifter resolution to more matters.
Many more people are finding resolution to matters that they would have to wait a long time in the Supreme Court, spend a lot more money. So they're taking advantage of that. We're seeing a tremendous amount of volume in terms of cases that are being brought and completed, which is, I think, the main people seem to be thankful for it.
Appointed back in 2023, Chief Magistrate Rickley says that this year the courts will look at making better use of technology to help with expanding access to the family islands and additional ways to ensure the dispensing of matters is done in a timely manner.
It be a civil matter or a criminal matter, persons deemed to have an issue with how long matters take to get through the courts. I think with taking advantage of technology, which is something we want to do, certainly in the family islands, take more advantage of the access that persons have through electronic media. I think we can get a lot more done.
Members of Parliament of the People's National Movement are voicing their strong support for Stuart Young to succeed Dr. Keith Rowley as Prime Minister once he steps down. This declaration comes just 2 days after the party revealed that Young earned the backing of all 21 MPs following Saturday's General Council meeting. However, the opposition is dismissing the announcement as a mere political gimmick. Meanwhile, the MPs also weighed in on Dr. Amory Brown's decision to enter the race for Rowley's Diego Martin West seat.
People are saying that your body language was suspicious any comments, any response to that? So you're satisfied, Minister, with the choice?
A strong sentiment from the PNM General Secretary who, like his colleagues, are unanimously expressing their support for Stuart Young as Prime Minister after previous reports of discontent with the selection.
The issue of my personal support for Minister Young was never in doubt. We just wanted a particular process to be followed. Process was followed, the party is happy, my constituency is happy, and we are moving forward.
I am 100% behind my colleague, the Honorable Stuart Young. I back him as the next Prime Minister to be, and he has my full support. Even though there may have been some let's say, slight bumps, I'm proud that we can always prevail and show the country that there's stability, unity, and trust among us.
Well, I am very happy that the PNM has been able to make this transition. When faced with extraordinary challenges, we rise to the occasion.
I want you to be patient. All will be well.
But the opposition is not convinced.
And the body language says it all, right in that interview. So I ask you to look at that body language when the two were being interviewed on Saturday evening.
What do you interpret from the body language?
It tells me that nothing has been solved.
And I would want to wish him well, that at the end of the day, he serves well, he leads well. And I think his initial message is one that resonates with me, that, one of unity, let us unite to build this country. That being said, I have not lost focus in that he will now be held to the highest standards of accountability. So as an opposition MP, whatever I have directed at Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley is going to be double-fold against my good partner and friend and my colleague in the legal profession, Minister Young.
And with reports that Senator Dr. Amory Brown wants to represent Diego Martin West, there was strong support across the political divide.
I mean, he's a decent, hardworking gentleman. I wish him all the best.
I must say that I would also pledge my full support once he's selected for the Diego Martin West seat. I know it may be a big shoe to fill, but I am sure he is very capable to do such.
I think there may be a lot of contest for that seat, and I'm wishing all who have put their hats in the ring the best of.
That's democracy in the party. Let's see what happens.
Our constitution is, once a party group can nominate you, you then can appear before the screening committee, who will then make their final decision.
Well, I really don't want to get into PNM confusion and bacchanal.
Dr. Rowley was driven into the Parliament's compound and therefore could not be questioned by media.
In a remarkable show of unity, rival gang members of the 6 and 7 came together in New Village, Castries, St. Lucia on Saturday to sign a peace treaty. Miriam Montoute of the DBS News World reports.
The initiative to bring the two gangs together is spearheaded by activist group Strive. Strive has been in existence for about 4 years, with the aim of redirecting youth going down the wrong path, keeping them in school, and ensuring peace prevails throughout Castries Central.
And it only took us a week and say, you see that crime in town, we had to stop it. And where Tiba, I, and Marvin came together, and we called those youths together and make them understand what time it is. And thanks to them, they agree to help us in solving that peace, because we alone couldn't do it. Thanks to the youths too, that give us the opportunity to bring them together, which I think there is at peace for now. I think that peace will hold forever.
The youth in attendance were mostly male, made up of children and teenagers. They were addressed about the larger consequences of their actions and the people who stood to be affected.
After the meeting, all the young 6 and 7 boys, we shuffle them up. They were together. We had the ones from New Village to go in the Wilton Yard court and play football. Take the ones from Wilton and bring them inside New Village. All yesterday, Tiba, I must say, I give thanks for that again, Tiba. He gave the little boys bags to ride yesterday. Mix them together, ride his bags, and give them money for KFC. So we had a nice time yesterday. And we just wanted to continue so all these mothers can have a peace of mind and they can sleep in their bed at night. Because some say they cannot sleep at night.
While the group moves forward to keep peace, Philip says they cannot do it alone. Parents of the at-risk youth were invited to the meeting. However, only one showed up. He is calling upon the parents of the youth to play a more active role in their lives. Additionally, some of the young men who were victims of the gang violence and not able to attend school did so Monday morning.
About maybe for the past 9 months, some of the 6 and 7 little boys could not go to school because they have the enemies waiting for them on the bus stand, armed with cutlass and knives. They couldn't go to school. So from seeing me there on Saturday, this morning, 3 went to school, like 4 went to school this morning. 2 Bocage, 2 CCHT school. We're going to put all the rest back in school. But we're saying out there, we need support, financial support and assistance.
Castries Central MP Richard Frederick came out to show support. Through a Facebook Live, the minister stated that he was deeply touched by the initiative and pledged to financially support Strive in whatever program or activity they come up with next for the at-risk youth.
I want to make this pledge publicly. I want the same men that brought them together to think of any program. I don't care of the cost. Think of a program that will benefit the young men, and Richard Frederick will ensure that it's funded, because we want our youth to go forward. We don't want them going backward. We don't want them going backward.
Strive welcomes anyone who is willing to support the group to come on board. In addition, the group encourages any child who may be a victim of the gangs 6 and 7 to reach out through their teachers. Strive is also calling upon corporate St. Lucia to step up and invest in programs and initiatives aimed at helping at-risk youth. For the DBS News World, Miriam Montoud reporting.
I am Eddie Frederick, wishing you a restful weekend. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.